Every year on January 1st, we celebrate the solemnity of Mary, Mother of God. It falls on this day because that's 8 days after Christmas. And 8 days after the birth of a Jewish boy was very important in Jewish ritual worship. We see in Luke's Gospel, and at the end of 8 days, when he was circumcised, he was called Jesus, the name given by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. And so 8 days after a Jewish boy was born, his parents would name him and he would be circumcised. In Genesis 17, we see circumcision being given by God to Abraham as a sign of the covenant, that this is how his people were to be incorporated into a covenant relationship with him. And so we see beautifully in Luke's Gospel that Jesus submits to this. You know, this feast gives us so much fruit for meditation, that the divine lawgiver submits to his own law. We see in Galatians 4, "But when the time had fully come, God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, to redeem those who were under the law, so that we might receive adoption as sons." The divine lawgiver submits to his own law so that he can redeem his creatures. That's beautiful fruit for meditation for us. We also are reminded in the circumcision that Jesus was man, that he wasn't some sort of like God in a man costume, but that he was fully man, and he submits to the ritual of circumcision. We're also reminded that circumcision was a type of prefigurement for the sacraments. The church fathers talk about circumcision as being a sacrament, not that it's one of the 7 sacraments of grace that we have today, but that it was a prefigurement for this because it was the incorporation into the covenant. St. Paul talks about this in Colossians, that baptism incorporates us now into this new covenant, into the people of God. Lastly, we can remember that the circumcision was the first shedding of sacred blood. And so it's also a prefigurement of Christ's passion, that he was born to die. And so this is a beautiful feast. Whether we used to call it the circumcision of our Lord and now we celebrate this feast of Mary, we can also remember Mary's obedience. She was obedient to Jewish rituals. She was also obedient to the angel Gabriel in naming her son Jesus. And that's a little theology in 3 minutes. Hey friends, exciting news for you. My very first book is available from Ave Maria Press. It's called Opening the Holy Door, and it's scriptural reflections on the virtue of hope. It's the perfect way to celebrate this Jubilee year, as together we are pilgrims of hope. You can find the link in the description below or go to joanwatson.faith to order your copy today.